Hello, it's Eamon McAuley here, Belfast boxing historian. Back with another wee chat about boxing. This will be the last one before Christmas. Uh, Me and my hero Harry Greb boxed at the same venue, 67 years apart. Yes, Harry Greb boxed at the Royal Albert Hall, losing a 4 round decision to Private Ring, and I beat 1978 ABA champion Moss O'Brien. This would have been 1985. So, wow, to box at the same venue as my absolute hero, Harry Greb, is fantastic. One of his very, very few losses, by the way. I boxed at the National Stadium in Dublin 4 times. Do you know the National Stadium in Dublin is the only stadium in the world that is exclusive to boxing? That ring is permanently there, never moves. I boxed at Main Road, where Manchester City Football Club used to play. They now play at the Idiot. Well, Manchester City played at Main Road for over 80 years. I boxed there between 6 and 8 times. The head man at Cavendish Boxing Club, Bill Nedley, he had connections with Manchester City Football Club. He was on the board, and that's why that was our regular place when we had our annual club shows. My brother-in-law, Sam McBurney, his cousin, Michelle Manning, is married to former Liverpool and current Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers' brother Con. So, Brendan is family. Whatever I have is his, and I think that cuts both ways. I've never met Brendan in my life. Both me and my uncle Renty Monaghan have met Joe Frazier and got photographed with him. There's my uncle Renty with Joe Frazier. That was in 1972 at Croke Park when Ali boxed Al Blue Lewis. Joe Frazier must have been over doing the TV. And there's me with Joe Frazier there. That was in the early millennium. I'm also in the Guinness Book of Records. There you go. There's the proof. And where if I go, let's see. ABA champions. You'll see there at lightweight, 1985. It says Eamon McAuley. So there's the proof. Eamon McAuley is in the Guinness Book of Records. The fact that my dad was a hard man in the street gives bullshitters and haters a chance to tell lies. Especially now that my dad's dead. There are people that really get off on this. They bullshit that their dads, their uncles, or their grandads done hard men like Silver McKee, Buck Alec, or Stormy Wellerup. So I'm sure they do it regarding my dad. The same goes with me as a boxer. Boxers bullshit. I was knocked down twice as a boxer. Bill Nicholson and Ben McGarrigle knocked me down. In fact, Ben McGarrigle nearly had me down a second time. I was really badly hurt. But my courage and my pride made me stand up, and I came back to stab him in the same round. I have been hurt and buzzed many times, but I have never been knocked down in sparring. There was this one time in the Holy Family when I was sparring this guy, and my mate Mickey Wasson was there to watch. Mickey had previously sparred this guy, and this guy had given Mickey a bit of a going over. So I was going to show Mickey that this guy wasn't in my league. I was showing off and loading up on my punches, trying to hurt the guy. This guy was a tough wee nut, and he was a good fighter and also a lovely fella. There was a rip in the canvas, and I tripped over it as I was sparring. It was like a flap that was later stitched up. I fell to the canvas, got up, and smiled at my opponent as I extended my gloves. But he got tore into me. I clearly remember thinking at the time, does he think he knocked me down? The guy was an aggressive fighter, but he wasn't a puncher, and we were wearing oversized gloves, 16-ounce. It really annoyed me, and a week later me and Bobby McAllister went up to this guy's gym and I sparred him again and gave him a vicious beating. I was really hurting him with body shots and he was close to going down. And he acknowledged this later when we were chatting. The first time I sparred Barry McGuigan in Eastwood's gym, there was a 10-second buzzer. And as me and Barry were going hammer and tongs, the buzzer buzzed. I put my hands down, thinking that it was the end of the round, and Barry hit me flush. I was stunned, but my legs didn't go, and I didn't go down. And Barry was a world-class puncher. I remember going down the steps of Barney Eastwood's gym, and I seen and heard one of our boxers talking to his mates. He was saying that he knocked down his sparring partner. And I couldn't help myself. I spoke out. I said to him in front of his mates, when did this happen? Because I watched your spar and I didn't remember anybody getting knocked down. The fella went bright red in front of his mates. I think bullshitting is an illness. I really do. And some of the guys are nice guys. I know bullshitters, and the bullshit comes out of their mouths unbelievable. But they're lovely guys, so I really do think it's an illness. I remember working as a doorman in the Beach Lounge Hotel, and my friend Kieran McLaughlin called me over. He was with a crowd of lads, and he said to me, Eamon, they're all claiming that such and such done your da. So I laughed and politely told him, this guy you're referring to, Idle is my da. He was my dad's mate, and he spent many, many years knocking about with my dad. And he said to me that he doesn't remember anybody. Nobody ever done my dad. And this guy wasn't even a hard man. But he refused to believe me and replied, well, so-and-so told me that such and such done him. So people will believe what they want to believe. And there's really nothing I can do about it. In finishing, I want to say, I'm not a hard man. Never was, never will be, and wouldn't want to be. But my dad was a hard man. One of the hardest, toughest ever come out of Ireland. Merry Christmas, days, and don't forget that Jesus is the reason for the season. Take care and God bless, and have a lovely Christmas.